Hey everyone, I am Peter from TopThink, and today we're going to be answering a question everyone wants to know about themselves. Are you attractive? Now, let's begin. We live in a world in which everyone seems to care a lot about what others think of them. You likely let your appearance, relationship status, amount of money you make, who your friends are, and so many additional factors actually define you as a person. Do you even think about who you are on the inside? Your values and character? Probably not. Outside influences impact us so significantly that we're often blinded to understanding ourselves on a deeper level. So, it's not surprising that we spend a good amount of time trying to figure out what we look like through the eyes of someone else. In fact, if you're like most people, you somewhat obsess over it. But what a stranger sees is very different from what you see. We tend to judge and scrutinize ourselves heavily. Others don't see as many of our imperfections as we do. This is good news for you. It means that although you nitpick at every little thing about yourself, the people around you don't really notice them. However, this doesn't help us determine if we're considered attractive to others or not. And ultimately, that's what you want to know. We have a simple test to help you figure this out. But first, it's important to understand what attraction actually is. To make it easy, attraction comes down to being interested in or liking someone else. Now, when you think of attraction, your first instinct may be to hone in on the physical qualities of someone. Not so fast. There's more to being attractive than just the physical side. Sure, initially someone might be attracted to you because you look nice, smell good, or have great hair. But as you get to know them better, that physical attraction can quickly diminish if there's a characteristic or value they have that doesn't match up with yours. For example, let's say you see a girl at the bar and she seems beautiful to you. Her smile is like one you've never seen before, and her eyes are piercing. You end up talking to her for the rest of the night. The next day you invite her to go out again and meet up at a local restaurant. She starts talking trash on just about everyone she knows, a no-no in your book. That beautiful girl you met last night suddenly doesn't seem so attractive to you. The ugliness that she portrayed tonight makes you want to stay far away from her. Okay, so now we know that attraction can change. It's also important to realize that you won't be attractive to everyone you meet right off the bat. You get it, right? You prefer a woman with blonde hair and blue eyes, but your best friend typically goes for brunettes. It doesn't mean you won't ever be attracted to a brunette, but that attraction may take longer to develop. Attraction looks different to everyone, but there are a few tried and true factors that can help you determine if you're attractive to the person you're talking to. Attraction happens on a physical, behavioral, and psychological level. Have all three and you might be on your way to a strong future with that person. Here's the quick test to tell if you're considered attractive to someone else. Number 1. Are you dressed appropriately? Let's start with the physical side of things. These are mostly factors you have control over and can change as necessary. You don't have to be the most handsome man on the planet to be considered attractive to someone else. Usually, though, you need to show that you take some pride in your appearance and look halfway decent. Here's the test. Are you dressed to impress? 3-piece suit? Not necessary. This really just means you don't look sloppy or have ketchup all over your white shirt and your pants aren't 3 sizes too small. A t-shirt and jeans is just fine, as long as you feel like you've put at least a little bit of effort into getting dressed today. You're on your way to someone thinking you're attractive. Number 2, do you smell nice? Yep, it sounds silly. Do people really go out in public when they're smelly? Unfortunately, yes. Some put off an odor that makes it seem like they've been camping in the woods for a week without a shower. Others, however, take smelling to the opposite extreme. They douse themselves with loads of cologne and the fragrance becomes nauseating. Here's the test. Do you smell clean? This one is easy. Just take a shower before you leave the house, and if you want some cologne, use a small drop. No need to oversell yourself with 6 sprays of Axe. Most people appreciate good hygiene, and this is a great way to start yourself on the road to being attractive. Number 3, is eye contact being made? So now, let's focus on behaviors. Alright, you've just started a conversation with a friend of a friend and you're feeling pretty good about it. You like how engaging she is, and she's pretty good looking too. Here's the test. Is she making eye contact with you? If you notice that the two of you can hold each other's eyes for a few moments and it doesn't seem super awkward, she's likely attracted to you. Number 4. Is the other person smiling? Smiles are important. Typically, if we're smiling, we are enjoying ourselves. Let's go back to your conversation with this new acquaintance. You've determined she's making eye contact with you, but you're still not sure if she's really thinking you're attractive. Here's the test. Is she smiling during the majority of your conversation? If you keep sharing smiles back and forth, and her smile seems genuine, you're on the right track. Smiling means enjoyment, which equates to a rise in your attraction level to her. Number 5. Are slight touches being shared? So, your conversation continues and you're noticing a good amount of eye contact is being made, and there are smiles flying all over the place. You've now been talking for a good 20 minutes and you're not ready to move on and say goodbye. She doesn't seem like she wants the conversation to end either, but you're feeling a little insecure on the next steps. Here's the test. Has she reached over and touched your arm? Has she flirted a little bit and brushed her hand over your knee? If you've noticed little touches here and there, you're really onto something. She's fully engaged in her time with you and letting you know she's interested with her flirtatious actions. Now, let's say you're not there yet. That's okay. Just because she's not at the flirty touching stage yet doesn't mean she's not attracted to you. Be patient. It may take more time. Number 6, are you sharing a unique perspective? Let's move on to a psychological factor that can help determine attractiveness. This pillar is all about making meaningful connections. Sharing commonalities is important here, but also bringing an intriguing element to the table can help as well. Your conversation with your new lady friend is continuing on and you're really enjoying your time with her. You take a minute to reflect on what you're actually discussing. Here's the test. Are you bringing a unique or interesting perspective into the conversation? If you are, you're likely holding her attention very well because you aren't boring. She's learning something from you. You're adding something of value to her life. You seem interesting to her, making her quite attractive to you. Okay, so let's recap the simple test to figure out if you're attractive. If you've answered yes to at least 4 of these questions, then you're likely considered attractive by the person you're talking to. Are you dressed appropriately? Do you smell nice? Is eye contact being made? Is the other person smiling? Are slight touches being shared? And are you sharing a unique perspective? Not passing the test? That's okay. You may be talking to the wrong person. Think about what you can fix, such as how you're dressed, and make sure you smell nice. Let the next conversation you have flow freely and run the test again to see if you may be attractive to this new person. Remember, not everyone is attracted to each other, so it's important to realize that as you're trying to figure out your next move. Stay upbeat and confident, and you'll soon find an attraction you simply